Oh, let's start a new season. So, you might watch my YouTube channel. You might be a subscriber that's been here a while, and are like, "Well, why'd you just put a Dolphins hat on?" I'm gonna do something new this year. I'm still gonna do videos. I'm still gonna do shorts. I've been gone for a while because I've been doing BitBoys, YouTube.com/BitBoys. Go subscribe, check it out. We play video games, fun. I'm gonna talk about my favorite team, the one that's tattooed on me. Miami Dolphins. Free agency starts Wednesday. I'm filming this on Monday, so the tampering period, it's just to get more publicity. The tampering period has started, and the Dolphins already made moves before this even happened. I'm going to talk about that crap. I'm going to react to it. I'm going to give you an idea of me being a Dolphins fan for over 20 years, what I feel about the future, what I feel about all this jazz. I'll be doing it all season. I'm going to do game predictions for each week. I'm going to do reactions after every Dolphins game. I'm going to, when the draft comes up next month, I'll talk about the picks that we got. I'm going to try to I'm going to film Wednesday for free agency, talk about the big moves that the Dolphins might have made, might not have made, should have made, whatever. But let's get farted. First thing that happened that everyone was like, ugh. They trade Jarvis Landry to the Browns for a 4th this year, and I think it's a 7th next year. And then I think they swapped sixes. I love the move, but I hate the move. I'm on the fence about it. I like the move because he was asking way too much money than he deserved. I get it. Led the league in receptions for, I think it's 2 years in a row. A lot of his catches were screen passes. A lot of his yards per reception, I think, averages around 8. Again, I love Jarvis Landry. I wish he stayed with the team, but the money he's asking is too much for what he's worth. He wants Antonio Brown, Julio Jones money, but he's not that type of player. He's only, I think 1 year he only got like 6-7 touchdowns. You know, he's the backbone and he's the heart of the offense, and he's got a ton of passion. And that's why I wanted him there. But sometimes his passion bit him in the ass, and he could get a 15-yard penalty. He got kicked out of a game. Second move that happened, Ndamukong Suh. He's gone. He's going to be a June 1st designated cut. What that means is his contract after June 1st, if he's cut, Dolphins save $17 million because they take his guaranteed money and they divvy it up between the 2 seasons. His dead money, essentially what it's called. June cut. If he's cut at June 1st, Dolphins get $17 million in cap relief. If he's cut right now, I think they only get like $3 million in cap relief, and then they have to deal with like a $22 million dead money. It's just a bumble blank of whatever. And if he's traded also, it negates the whole, because then he's traded now. So then essentially the team loses him now, but he's still guaranteed the money. Whatever. Ndamukong Suh is gone. This one, I'm okay with. With the Jarvis thing, I had a love-hate thing with. With this one, I'm okay with because he's been on the defense for what? I think 3-4 years now. He's been to the Pro Bowl once. He should have went last year. I think last year was one of his best years with us. The thing that drives me nuts about Ndamukong Suh is I get that he has passion, but he's constantly offsides. He leads the league in offside penalties. It's ridiculous. If it's 3rd and 2, just hard count him. You get your first down. Hated that about him. Also, you're paying him quarterback money, but he's not a team leader. He's not going to be on the defense barking, "Come on, we got this, blah, blah, blah." He was given too much money for what he contributed, so I get the cut. And then Lawrence Timmons is gone. If you didn't see that happen after week 3, then you're obviously not a football fan or a Dolphins fan, because the fact that he went AWOL week 1 literally wiped out his guaranteed money. So his cut it was a no-brainer. No-brainer, Daner. Julius Thomas will be cut. Don't worry about that. That guy was hot garbage. He'll be gone. They're talking about Juwan James they're trying to trade him, but now I'm hearing that they're trying to keep him. We'll see what happens with Juwan James. I'm indifferent about that. I do not want him tagged, and I don't want his 5th-year option picked up. Way too much money for a right tackle, especially Juwan James. Solid right tackle, but not for the money that the 5th-year option would put on him. Mike Pouncey, I heard iffy about him. He's also getting way too much money for a guy who's been injured a lot. Played all 16 games last season, but that's because he barely practiced. So there goes the continuity with the offensive line and stuff. I think that's the moves that they're talking about. There's certain cuts. I'd like them, and then the people that I want them to re-sign. I want Cody Parker re-sign, or Parkey, however you pronounce his last name. He was clutch kicker. I think he missed twice all year, and one of them was an extra point, or two of them were extra points. He needs to be re-signed. I would like them to get rid of Kiko Alonso, but that money's just fully guaranteed. Same thing with Andre Branch, fully guaranteed. Traded with the Rams. They gave him the fourth that they give our fourth to the Rams for Quinn, the defensive end, which I like. He's young, 27, injury prone, but when he's healthy, he's good. They give our fourth to them. So we kept the Eagles' fourth that we got for trading Jay Ajayi last year, but then we just got a fourth back for. It's very confusing, people. I think the Rams one is where we switched sixth place. Like we took the Rams sixth place, and it's very confusing. I don't hate that trade either. Love that trade a lot. But what I'd like to see them do in free agency is stop spending big money on old, like they past their heyday players. Like you got Julius Thomas. You saw what he did in Jacksonville. Nothing. Lawrence Timmons. Okay, he shined every once in a while, but the reason why they really cut him is because he got older as the season went on, and he was tired. Really had nothing to do with him going AWOL. It had to do with the fact that he kept getting winded and had to be taken off the field. You got to stop going for players like that. You got to go for the young players. You got to go for like the up-and-comers, like Anthony, the linebacker we got from the Saints in the middle of the year last year. I have a good feeling about him. He's got the speed and stuff. He's just got to pick up on defense, and he's just got to pick up on being that linebacker. So I don't hate that move. And they got that rookie linebacker, McMillan, who, listen, you got rookies playing special teams. We're going to have rookies playing special teams. It's just the way it is. Him getting injured like that on the first play of preseason is just... It happens, not really, but it does happen. I feel like he's going to be a good middle linebacker. We need a... All right, let's get into what I think the Dolphins should do in free agency. What I should think they should do in free agency is, sure, go after guys that will make it so you can do best player available in the draft, but be smart about it. They need a outside linebacker. They need a backup quarterback. They need a guard. Depending on what they do with Juwan James, they need a right tackle. Now they need a defensive tackle, and I get another corner. And, of course, they need a tight end. Defensive tackle, I hear Poe is out there. I wouldn't go for Muhammad Wilkerson. I heard he's a head case from what I'm reading. Maybe Jared Odrick. You could bring Jared Odrick back if he still wants to play, if he's still playing. There's defensive tackle options. There's also defensive tackle options in the draft. Quarterback, I'd bring Fales back, and then I would draft a quarterback. First round, if one's there. If Baker Mayfield's there at 11, take him. If not, get a quarterback in the second round. So that's what I do at quarterback. Corner, with the purge of these teams, it was flooded with corners, especially safeties. You could take TJ McDonald, put him at linebacker, sign one of these safeties. That's another option at linebacker. Will the Dolphins do it? Who knows? Guard, they're not spending money on guards. They have never done it. Right tackle, you could draft a right tackle in the third round, or you pick up one of these right tackles. It's going to be a lot of money, though. So if you're not going to get Juwan James, or you could talk to Juwan James about maybe a contract extension, you could do that. Running back, I don't see them making running back a necessity, but, C.J. Anderson's technically available. Also, Titans got cut Murray. You can go for him, even though Murray, I think, is in Detroit right now. Tight end, I would actually go with Burton, I think his name is, the Eagles tight end. He's not proven, but he'll be cheap. Do not go for Jimmy Graham. Just don't. He wants to go back to the Saints. Let him go back to the Saints. He'll flourish there. Because if he comes here to Miami, he's not going to do crapola. But in a nutshell, that's just my thought process in what has happened so far with the Dolphins in the past week or so. And today with all the news of the cuts and all that other stuff. There's probably more stuff going on. I don't even know. I'd have to check. They're not rebuilding, but they're trying to start fresh, I guess you can say. They're not calling it a rebuild. I don't think it's a rebuild, because then why would they get Quinn from the Rams? I think what they're doing is they saw how the team started falling apart last year and how there was no unity. Because a lot of times last year, people had to cover other people's zones. And that's where a lot of the crap happened. Especially that, I think the first Patriots game where people were just wide open down the field. It's because people had to cover other people's zones. There wasn't a unity with this team, and that's what they're trying to do now. They're finding players that they want. Am I worried? Of course, I'm a Dolphins fan. I've been worried ever since I became a Dolphins fan when I was 6. Or when I started realizing what football was, probably around 10. That's just what it is being a Dolphins fan. You watch the game, you're like, we're probably going to lose, and then we win. And then you face a team like the Browns, like, oh, we should win this, and they lose. Or it's a nail biter and you got that pit in your stomach. It's just what it is being a Dolphins fan. We went to the playoffs 2 years ago. We didn't go last year. I like Adam Gase. I have faith in Adam Gase. The front office, on the other hand, not really. They don't draft well. Like, I don't like Charles Harris. I don't think Charles Harris is going to do much. Prove me wrong. Please. Jesus. I'd like to see a Super Bowl in my lifetime. That's my thought on the Dolphins, what they've done so far. I've probably missed a ton of things. Have a conversation below. Do you agree with me on what I've said about Landry, on how I like the move because he was asking too much, but I hate the move because he was the heart of the team, but then I like it because of him being a head case? On Suh, too much money. We can get so many players with this money. On the people available, my thoughts on who we should grab. I will be back Wednesday for the free agency, so I'll talk about who we've picked up and all that stuff. But like I said, comment below what you like about the Dolphins. Subscribe. This is going to be a channel where I'm going to be doing my older stuff that's on here, but it's now going to be a Dolphins fan channel where I'm going to be talking about the Fins, and I'll talk about football when the season starts every Sunday. So hope you subscribe and enjoy the content, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Let's see what these Fins did. Fins up. Now you do the thing where you like look down. Like, I'm not close to it where I'm like, hey guy, you're taking a shit. You like walk in the bathroom and you kind of like look to see if there's feet. So I noticed there's feet in my poop stall. So I'm like, come on, man. So I'm like, whatever. You know, I'll give him